Hey there's OK and the Math Teacher here. We're going to solve percent problems. We're going to use a method called the box method. And the box method is really just a plus. I'm not going to draw the whole box. But what I'll put is over of. Is over of, and that'll be on the right side, it'll be part over a whole. So part will be on top and whole will be on the bottom. And here's the thing, you only have to fill in 3 parts of the box. Actually 2, because the whole is always 100. So the right side is really the percent, and the bottom right corner is always 100. So let's take a look at a problem. What is 80% of 50? Well, let's take a look. 80% of 50. Remember, percent means out of 100. So I know exactly where that 80 is supposed to go. It's going to go above the 100. 80 over 100, part of a whole, 80%, 80 over 100. Of 50. Well, I know where that 50 goes. It goes where I put that of word, and I'm trying to find what is. Question mark, or I can replace it with a variable because I'm trying to find the missing link here. So now what do? I take 50 times 80. I'm going to multiply the 2 numbers I see at an angle and then divide by the third. I'm dividing by 100. So 80 times 50 and then divide that by 100. So 80 times 50, well that'll be 4,000. And so I'm going to divide 4,000 by 100. Okay, so we have 4,000 divided by 100. Every fraction is also a division problem. We're going to cross cancel our zeros and be left with 40 over 1, which is 40. So really, 40 is 80% of 50. Let's take a look at another example. This time, we're going to use a different method. We'll call this method 2, or another method. So let's take a look at the same exact problem. We're going to ask what is 80% of 50? But this time, we're going to convert language arts to math. Of means to multiply. So I'm going to multiply 80% times 50. So I have first to convert 80% to a decimal. So to the left, I move it 2 to the left. I have 0.8 times 50. 8/10 times 50 is 40. Very good. So 40 is 80% of 50. Of means to multiply. Now let's take a look at another example. What is 40% of 100? Remember, of means to multiply. 40% of 100, we're going to take out our tool, D2P, and convert 40% to 4/10. 4/10 times 100. 4/10 times 100 is 40, and that will be our answer. So 40 is 40% of 100. Let's take a look at a different kind of problem, finding the percent. 30 is what percent of 40? 30 is what percent of 40? So let's bring out the box. We have is over of and part over a whole. Remember, 100 is always on the bottom right. So 30 is what percent? We don't know the percent, so that's a question mark. We can replace that with our variable. And of is next to 40, so we look at our box and we see of, and we're going to write 40 right underneath the 30. So we're going to take a look at our box and know that the 2 numbers at an angle are the ones we multiply, and we're going to divide by 40. So 30 times 100 is 3,000, and we're going to divide that by 40. Well, 3,000 divided by 40 is 75. Well, 75 over 100 is 75%. That's 75 out of 100. Very good. So we could replace the x with 75 now, and we have a complete box. So now we're going to take a look at a third type of problem, finding the whole amount. So 20 is 33 1/3% of what? Let's bring out the box. Remember, we're going to have is over of on the left side, and that'll be a part over a whole on the right side. Remember, what's on the bottom right is always going to be 100. So 100 is always on the bottom right. 20 is, 20 goes right there next to the is. 33 1/3%. Well, percent, so that's going to be in the top right, and of is going to be what we're looking for. Of what? Of the question mark. Now we can replace that question mark with a variable if we want to. Looking at the 2 numbers at an angle, we're going to multiply. 20 times 100 is 2,000. divided by 33 1/3. But first, why don't we take this is a mixed number, so why don't we take it and convert it to an improper fraction? Remember, we're going to multiply up from the denominator to the whole number. 3 times 33 is 99, plus 1 is 100, and that'll be over 3. So we're dividing 2,000 divided by 100 over 3. So let's reformat this whole problem. We're going to take 2,000 and divide it by 100 over 3, or 100 thirds. But we have a procedure for dividing fractions. We can put a 1 underneath our whole number to make that a fraction, and we're going to break out the KFC. We're going to keep the first fraction, keep. We're going to flip the second fraction. Change the division to multiplication. Keep the first fraction as 2,000 over 1. Flip the second fraction to 3 over 100. And then we're going to change division to multiplication. Now we're going to multiply straight across, numerator to numerator. So 2,000 times 3 is 6,000. And then denominator to denominator, 1 times 100 is 100. 6,000 divided by 100, we can cross cancel the zeros, and we're left with 60 over 1, which is 60. So 20 is 33 1/3% of 60. So the answer is 60. Yay!
So how do we use percents in the real world? Great question. Well, if you work in the hospitality and tourism industry, you're going to use percents in a variety of ways. Whether managing stock or reducing a recipe by 50%, you need these skills. If you'd like to explore this career cluster more, check us out on the web at laketech.org/career pathways/careers/hospitality.